Hey guys, this is Ioan from Unbowed, and you're listening to the Brutally Delicious podcast.
So I'm Bruce. That's my partners, Chris and Rena. Thanks.
Hey guys.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello.
Fellow Canadians, Chris.
I know they're Canadians.
Yeah, that's right. Southern Ontario.
You said Guelph, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. What's it? How far is Guelph from Toronto?
On a good day, it's like 45 minutes. If
bad.
There's traffic, which is like most of the time these days, it's like you
2
get
hours?
there in like an hour.
Does the 401 go up that high?
Yeah, it does. So
Shit,
yeah, you
sorry
can kind
about
of
that.
just ride that thing the whole way.
Sorry.
Yeah. Sometimes we take the back roads whenever like if we really want to just like take our time, just because basically these days with traffic it takes like the same amount of time.
So here's a little local knowledge that I just learned about. So
Yeah.
they just put in a fucking toll road that runs along the 401 near it. And
That's
it
right.
costs like fucking $60.
Oh, it's rough, man.
What
Like
the fuck is that shit?
yeah, actually, like you're not supposed to do it, but apparently there's a lot of people getting in trouble for that because they have these like automated things that will shield their license plate. So like when they get hit by the camera, they don't have to pay it. But I wouldn't want to get caught with that. Could you imagine like the fine for that would be probably 10 times worse?
But like that's got to be like that's fucking robbery, man. How the fuck? How did it
It is.
happen that a toll road ended up being $60?
Oh, it's like bread today. Like bread's like $12 now too. Like everything's going up. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So let's get on with the band.
For sure.
Yeah, now that we've covered bread prices.
Bread prices, toll roads, off to a great start.
I'm going to tell you, we've been doing this all morning with podcasts every half hour, and we've been all over the place. So nothing
Honestly,
surprised me at
that's-
this point.
Like I host my own podcast, and like people are always like, "Don't you want to like stick to like the topic of choice for like who you're talking to?" No, I want to know about everything. It's fine.
So
It's all
okay,
Be careful what you wish for.
plug your podcast. Plug your podcast.
Yeah, I've got Heroic Transmissions, and so that's kind of like a modern retelling of mythologies, and like just talking to generally interesting people doing things outside of the norm. I really just try and get people in on that. Our site's called halathas.com.
So is this something
Plugged.
that comes into the band's music as well?
Oh, absolutely. I think like me, Aiden, all the other guys from Unbowed, we've been around each other for so long. Like nearly every weekend, we're in the woods having a fire. Like we're all in each other's projects. We have like 12 different projects going around. We try and keep it like what would you call it? Like different mediums, I guess. So like I do lots of like the poster art. Aiden's like a great cook. We do stuff like that. Like anything that we can bring to the table. Like we just like to enrich each other's lives, enrich other people's lives any way you can, sort of thing. You know, I think that's the true calling for artists, right? So
I like that.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I gotta say, when you say that we're in the woods every week or something, all I can picture is you guys lost in corpse paint and just like wondering there, like, where the fuck are we? How do we get out?
It gets a little intense because a lot of us know like stick and pokes and stuff like that, and like we've done several
Right.
brandings. Aiden's mom got so mad at me the other
Oh,
day
yeah.
because like we got too drunk. We were like branding each other on the arms and stuff.
Oh shit.
So what is a stick and poke? Is that actually like
Yeah, so that's like I guess the more traditional version of tattoos, really, right,
Right,
Aiden?
yeah.
Like I guess it's like it's like you going like that sort of thing, tapping them into each other, you know, more
Woo.
tribal looking, I guess. Like
I couldn't
yeah.
fucking handle that.
I'm thinking that's got to be a
No
lot more
way.
painful too,
Aiden,
right?
you're fucking savage.
Yeah.
Then again, like,
Yeah, it
mom's
was like-
getting mad. Doesn't
Yeah,
get
our
more
moms
metal
were
than
not
that.
happy. Our moms were not happy collectively. Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah,
this is the
metal.
funniest fucking thing ever. Like the extreme metal band here is just like,
Yeah.
my mom was really mad about this.
Like, it goes, yeah, like it goes hand in hand with like, you know, if you're in a black metal band, you got to be talking about your mom all the time.
Yeah.
You know, mom won't be happy. I'm in the woods getting lost.
Mom's going to keep you from going to the next show. You're going to be grounded.
Yeah,
Why
yeah,
are you putting all those sticks together? That's not sticks. That's the band logo.
yeah, man. Our biggest inspiration. We look up in the trees. Oh my God, there's a raccoon up there. You couldn't even see it though. It's like all these like a clump of sticks.
Right, the logo for the band name.
Yeah, yeah.
Totally. But
So
hey, Aiden, tell us what you like to cook. What is your like best like?
Thing that I like to cook the most, probably pasta, because it's easy. Like working in a kitchen, it's get home from work and don't want to really cook anything major.
Yeah,
Uh,
him and our ex guitarist actually are like both like head cooks at one of this really cool place that they work in Guelph right now, and they do like super good brisket all the time. Like every time I order there, it's just like top notch.
I
Like
love brisket.
yeah, honestly, underrated.
Yeah, I do not put the corpses of sentient beings in my body, so I wouldn't know. But I don't judge the people who do.
I think there's some judging there, but however, I do feel that
I
most
feel
musicians,
offended.
yes, I feel that most
you
musicians work in the
canceling me?
kitchen, though, right?
Sorry?
Yeah, there's a lot of it. Yeah, like honestly, there's so many different guys I know from different bands that we've been on tour with or like we've recorded with, and like they happen to be cooks as well. It's great. Again, so like if you go to the woods and like we're having like a big fire, like people just bringing steaks and stuff, right? Like open fire cooking is super cool. Like I love that sort of thing. In fact, me and the guy Aiden works with, Joaquin, like we were actually thinking of eventually opening a bar. We wanted to do like an open fire cooking for that sort of like the back kitchen stuff, but like the insurance would just like murder us.
I would imagine the
Yeah.
health authority would be like, you can't have open fires at the table.
There was a place called it was a branch. I don't know if you guys remember it. It was called like Mongolian Grill. They did that sort of thing, or like a Benihana situation, I guess too. Sorry, glare here, but like I love that sort of thing. Super cool.
So where are you guys going out in the woods?
So
let me guess, you're going to your mom's cottage.
No, not that funny, but like
Okay.
there's a few really nice parks in Guelph. It's got a sort of Oregon vibe, I guess, in some ways. Like everyone around here is like super into nature, super not very I don't know, like work oriented, I guess. Like everyone has more of a community basis sort of thing. Yeah.
So how did you guys kind of meet? Like, because I'm not sure. Like, I know in Toronto, there's a metal community, but Guelph, I'm not. Like, how does that all kind of come together?
Yeah, it was kind of a funny one. When me and Aiden started out, we were in like grade 9. We started making contact. He was in a different school to me and Alex, the lead guitarist of Unbowed. But after we sort of made the realization that we listened to the same sort of music, I guess we started reaching out to various friends who knew other people around the area, sort of thing. And it's weird because in Guelph, a lot of the main musical influences on like the scene was kind of predominantly like metalcore sort of stuff. And so as soon as we started playing live, which was around 2011, 2012, we became like that band because like we were like wearing like all this like fake blood, and like we had like a keyboard player at the time, and like I guess it was more of a novelty to people coming out to shows. But as the sort of core scene kind of died down a little bit, because it was like in the height of like Bring Me the Horizon or like Suicide Silence and stuff like that. As that sort of died down and other bands started emerging, or bands that were in that sort of core vibe kind of expanded their influence, we kind of almost took a bit of the core influence, and so things kind of generally have mixed into a lot of more of a black metal sort of thing in Guelph right now. Like, funnily enough, I wouldn't say like full black metal, but you can tell there's certainly more going on than just like breakdowns now, which is cool. And like it was really nice to see a friend of ours band, they're called Nepenthe. They're really cool. You guys should check them out. They had a free show on just after COVID ended, just as like a celebration, just to have people back in the scene. And without sounding cheesy, it was just so wholesome just to see how many people were there of all different walks of life, just coming to this show and like watching like doom metal in Guelph. It was really funny. And like the spiritual part of it for us was that it was in one of the first places any of us ever started like hanging out. And it's like a punk bar called Jimmy Jazz.
Okay.
And the first show I ever saw there, I was underage, shouldn't have even been in there. And it was like a core show. And now here we are, like a decade later, almost, listening to stuff that I would have been listening to at my computer after high school.
Nice.
Nice.
So the record, Color the Soul, is due out what, in like about 2 weeks?
Yeah, it comes out May 20th.
So now that it's
It was under
complete,
2 weeks.
yeah, a little under 2 weeks. How excited are you, first of all? And second of all, now that it's complete, are you satisfied with the way it turned out?
Yeah, I think yeah, Aiden, if you want to take that first.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no, I'm so excited for this album to come out. Like, it's been a long time coming. I'm super happy with the parts that I wrote for it, and I'm sure everybody else is as well. So yeah, I'm just ecstatic.
Yeah, this album was actually, it's like almost pan-continental. So a few of us were like in Finland when it was first getting made, and then there was a few in England. Our drummer Julian and Alex again were studying engineering and like mixing and mastering in London, England. So this album started its creation, I think, almost like 5 years ago now, reasonably. And so it's been a long slog compared to the last 2 full lengths we did, which were kind of banged out the same way we did everything in Guelph, which was like, oh, I'm just going to walk over to Alex's house, or I'm going to walk over here, do this. And like, we'll spend a day, do like 3 or 4 songs, but it was a lot harder to do that during all of this. And then along with the pandemic as well, it became increasingly hard. But a common question we got asked is like, how did this pandemic affect like our band's like musical process? And it was actually more of the same, really, because we already had these hurdles trying to get this thing out, and it kind of gave us more time to think than before. And so I think a lot of the concepts and the progression in it kind of tell more of like a telling of how we've all grown up since then. So it's more of like going from our young 20s into more or less adulthood now, and like as we've progressed as people, this album's kind of become something more.
I have a very serious question for you guys.
I have to back up a little bit.
Go ahead, Rena.
Yes, thank you. You said some of your people were in Finland.
Yeah, so me and Alex actually have another band out there with a Finnish dude where we just kind of lock ourselves away for like 3 weeks in a cabin, and we'll just like see what we come up with. It's always an interesting time. Another friend of ours, Zach, he comes with us. He's in a few of our other projects as well. That's more predominantly like black metal stuff, but it's always interesting to see how we think of, or we start talking about very similar concepts in a lot of our other bands, and we'll bring it into the Unbowed stuff. And so I say it starts with like stuff like when we go away to Finland, or like when we're over in Europe doing other stuff. I say it starts because like you can hear melodies when you have different views, or like when you're walking around, right?
Rena's in Finland.
Like I'm a Finnish person in Finland.
Oh, awesome!
Right now.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome. Yeah, we were in Kajaani. I don't know how close that is to you.
Really fucking far. That's way up north. Like
yeah.
That's really close to Pite, where Nightwish is from. And
yeah, that's right. Exactly. Yeah, everyone there's like, it's more of a like Kajaani's kind of a military base, right? So it's kind of vacant most of the time, and it's very close to the bush. So it's kind of it's funny when you can hear of like bands that are actually from there. And Nightwish especially too, right? Like Nightwish is so like
huge.
Yeah, like glorious.
They have no
they
shortage
are
of
fucking
fans.
glorious, that is for sure. Now that they're with Floor, like, it's a perfect combination. It's like I was never, and to go into the subject a little bit, I was never a huge fan of the Tarja Turunen phase, like it bothered me, the pronunciation of English, and just like I don't know, because she was always kind of like, she didn't really like metal or metalheads, that she always kind of talked down a little to the whole like metal concept of things. And to actually throw a little bit of a humble brag out there, one of my band's albums was actually produced by Tuomas Holopainen of Nightwish.
Oh, that's
I was not in the band back then,
hey,
but
right on.
Still
oh, that's super cool. Yeah, what's your band name?
Silentium is my band. Yeah,
nice.
Tuomas
I'll check
in the
it out.
Nightwish book. Yeah,
awesome.
Tuomas in the Nightwish book said that if he had the balls, he would make the music that we make. That like no part of it beats.
That's like, an honorable thing to say. That's awesome.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is very cool. But it's so funny that you guys also have this like connection to Finland, and that you go into the woods there to brand yourself, and then you come to Finland and go to the woods again.
Yeah.
And what sort of things do you do to hurt yourself here in the north?
Yeah, for sure.
I I have a very serious question.
Oh, Jesus.
Bring it.
This is really serious. How
Here we
much
go.
did your music change when the government started mailing you weed?
You know, funnily enough, like I'd say like drugs are probably the least influential thing on our music. That's kind of a hot take from metalheads maybe, but like yeah, for the most part, like I don't know, most people I know who like partake, like they kind of stuck to their dealers anyway, sort of thing,
Yeah.
you know. So like you know,
What is
hot
this
take.
mailing of weed? Please tell
So
me more
it's-
about this.
It's
Well,
legal in Canada, so the government
yeah.
mails it to you. You just go on the website, you order it, and they send it to your house through the post office.
I was unaware of
Yeah,
that.
it's kind of it's almost irritating for like again going back to like the cultural aspect because there's so many weed stores now. It's just like McDonald's and Starbucks. It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
like all over
Really?
the place. It's like, do we really need this many?
Last
Like-
time I was back in Canada, I was
Yeah.
shocked because I live in DC now at Washington.
Okay. Yeah.
But the last time I went back, like all those signs that they have on the side of the road, it's like get your oil changed $39.95 or whatever. It was like
Right.
2 bongs, $14. You know,
Yeah.
blunts, joints, like everything was like, what the fuck is
And
going
it's
on
just
here?
totally no restrictions. You just kind of go. I mean, obviously it's
Yeah.
an age restriction or something, probably, right? But you just
It's like a bar, yeah.
wow.
Yeah, it's kind of just like an
Liquor store.
LCBO sort of situation. So like Liquor Board of Canada, like it's
Yeah,
like
it's like the
it's
ABC here, Bruce. It's like the ABC
Yeah.
in Virginia.
yeah, it's a controlled substance. So like
Yeah.
really you shouldn't be getting it from dealers. But like I think the main gripe from people I hear is that like it's kind of like pasta. So it's kind of like it's dried too long. It's kind of sat there for way too long, sort of thing. So it's a little different, right? So
Yeah. Yeah, the
That's
quality
why-
isn't as good
yeah.
apparently.
yeah, like in my heyday, it was mostly ditchweed, so I can't talk. Like it's
I love that. My
Yeah.
heyday. That's awesome.
yeah,
You're like 12. In my
Yeah,
heyday.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah, no, I was just always curious because like I left Canada the year before they legalized it.
right.
So like when I went back, I was just like, holy fuck, this would have put me in jail when I was a kid. And now it's like now it's on advertisements all over the street. I was just like, this is great.
Yeah. Oh man, like whenever I travel to like friends in the States, like I'll go to Virginia quite often, and
Oh
like
yeah, where we are.
oh my god, like the things that you see, like the billboards of like these military looking dudes, like I'm gonna fight the war on drugs. It's like,
Oh,
whoa,
yeah.
you're losing.
Right, you already lost.
Yeah,
I'm in Richmond, so I 100% agree with what you're saying. I've seen them.
yeah, it's wild, man.
I'm in North Virginia, so there's nothing like that here.
Oh, okay, yeah. No,
Yeah.
it's
But we
it's
now
funny.
have a really, really important question for Aiden. And
Okay.
that question is, and this is a classic question on this show, and we're
Oh,
looking
Jesus.
for your wisdom on this subject.
Uh-oh.
So, is a hot dog a sandwich?
Jesus.
It's great.
Oh no, I would have to ask this.
You're an expert. You
Yes.
know kitchen things. So
That's
know
right.
we're gonna like really put weight on your answer now.
I'd say it's a sandwich.
Yes, it has to
But
be.
it's-
Straight
I
from
agree.
the sous chef mouth,
Sandwich.
right here.
This is
Let's
awesome.
hear your argument on why you say yes, it is.
bread, meat, and condiments. That's essentially what a sandwich is, right?
Yeah.
Put them together. It's just a different form of it.
I
Yeah.
100% agree.
So yeah,
Thank
it's a
you.
sandwich.
On
Bruce,
that
on your
note,
team with this. What
on
does
that
what
note,
does
if you're in water, are you wet? If you're fully submerged, are you wet in water?
Yes.
Yes.
I would
I
have
don't
to
think
say
so.
yeah.
I don't know.
Are you trying to stump us?
I
That's
disagree.
actually an interesting question.
You're
You're
wet
not
when
dry.
you're out of, yeah,
You're not dry, but
Exactly.
are you wet?
exactly. Yeah.
Because you're only wet when you can feel
Yeah.
the dry
Right.
air.
you
or
get
is
out of
wet,
the water?
wet is a state of mind, I think.
That's like my dad. My dad used to say women do not actually get cold. They just have this emotional, like the spiritual coldness that they don't understand that they're actually warm. If they just decided that they're warm,
Spiritually cold.
they wouldn't be like shivering in the
Wow.
cold. So apparently this is the same kind of thinking.
You're
same
not
logic,
cold.
right?
You just have a terrible spirit.
Yeah.
Like, you just don't understand that you don't have to be.
That straight up just
One of
sounds
the
like
classics.
some lyrics from the new Unbowed.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I'll jump in. Is there something you want your fans to take away from after listening to an Unbowed record, or specifically this record?
Specifically Color the Soul, because it took so long and because we had such a great amount of time to like really craft what it is we wanted the message to be or the takeaway. I'd say that it heavily follows one of our favorite authors, Joseph Campbell. I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
I love Joseph Campbell.
Yeah, so he's absolutely fantastic.
The power
Has
of the
basically-
myth.
Exactly, the monomyth. Like essentially, no matter where you are, no matter who you are, whatever walk of life, we all kind of want the same thing. We want to be able to protect our family. We want to show them that they're loved. We want to show that we're loved. We want to love ourselves. We want to be able to grow, and we want to be able to live life to the fullest. And I think something that's distinctly lacking in most of modern culture is that we've completely neglected this concept of a soul and this idea that beauty is inherent in all things. And so what I tried to do with the lyrics and what I think Alex and the rest of the boys crafted so well with the music is that there's a synergy between the two. There's a synergy between technicality and there's a synergy between like the poetic aspect of what I've brought to the band. So while they're making things sound absolutely excellent and went to school for this stuff and made production such a powerful tool and clarity in that way, I was able to take what I do, which is predominantly studying myth and predominantly understanding how we could better bring mythology and ancient tales that have just been in our blood since the beginning of time into the foray today in modern times. Because I think if there's one thing that's going to help someone who might be struggling with a depression while in like, a maze of concrete is understanding that you can still go outside and see the exact same stars that your ancestors saw, and you can still feel the exact same way that they did when they saw someone they loved, or the way that you can help someone and understand that good is inherent in the human soul. We can understand when things go right. We can understand when we're helping, when we're making things worse for other people, and how that collectively hurts us all, essentially. And so throughout this, we've applied different runes from the Germanic folklore myths and their culture and their meanings towards stuff like Carl Jung's work. So a lot of stuff like the understanding of how the soul is both masculine and feminine, how that contributes to being good at things and also being able to understand that you're going to have to grow, without rambling too much. That's kind of it.
No,
just,
no,
yeah.
not at all. Now we know that you don't smoke weed, but you eat shitloads of mushrooms.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, settle down over there.
No, but everything you said, I'm willing to sign off on. Like, completely right, and that is a great message to convey to people.
Thank you. Yeah, it's something that
you guys understand it.
Yeah, we all fully just like we sign off on that message, and we sign off on the fact that there shouldn't be any room for hate for yourself or other people, and understanding that altogether, if we look for more common good in each other, it kind of resembles the same thing that I was talking about before. When we come back from such a horrible time of a pandemic, and we can for 2 years, we just saw people arguing online and like not having human connection. But, going into a building where we all like the same music and understanding we have more in common than we do apart. That's kind of, I think, the only way we have any shot at saving this thing we call civilization. So if I can get any message across with this album, it's that we need to work on ourselves, and it's okay to recognize weakness in ourselves, and that we should be constantly trying to grow from that with each other. That's kind of the main message of it. Understanding that if you conquer the world within, sort of thing, then you can help this world outside.
Nice.
Very
I
nicely
think that's a great place to end this interview.
Yeah.
I don't think we can top it. Bruce, did you have anything else? Sorry.
I don't know. I was going to say I'll sign off on everything you just said. I'm 100% in your corner there.
Awesome. It's been great to meet you guys.
Thank you, my friend. I really appreciate it.